The Bulls are falling apart.
The Bulls.
The Bulls look great for 10 games
Yeah,
in the
they did.
season. Proved everybody wrong. They were shooting threes. They were the best three-point shooting team through 10 games, and the sample size was too small. And we said when they were getting better and they looked good, maybe we underestimated the Bulls. Maybe everybody was wrong. But we need more sample size. So now I'm going back to like our original statements. If Fred Hoiberg is in trouble halfway through the season, he's going to be on the hot seat. And now he is. Rajon Rondo took to Instagram.
Of course he did.
In a relatively hypocritical way. And I'm going to explain that I think his point is sound, but it's extremely hypocritical for the way he did this. So here's the post that he made. It was really long, and it was him with Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett. And he said, "My vets would never go to the media. They would come to the team. My vets didn't pick and choose when they wanted to bring it. They brought it every time they stepped in the gym, whether it was practice or a game. They didn't take days off. My vets didn't care about their numbers. My vets played for the team. When we lost, they wouldn't blame us. I may be a lot of things, but I am not a bad teammate. My goal is to pass what I learned along. The young guys work. They show up. They don't deserve blame. If anything is questionable, it's the leadership. My vets would never go to the media. You went to the media."
He's a vet for these young players.
You're a vet. So that aside, Butler tweeted out, it's his quotes from a different tweet, Sean Hyken. "Jimmy Butler, I like it. I'm sorry, but I like controversy. At the end of the day, we're all what we've got. I don't regret anything from this season." And Dwayne Wade's comments that were also sent out, a different sort of leadership, I guess, different form of professionalism in going to social media. His comments were as follows. "I could take that as a personal attack, but what's that going to do for me? Come in and fight Rajon because he said his vets practiced every day? I'm 35. I'm not practicing every day. That's very clear. Everyone has their own things. My vets did different things too. They were very successful with what they did in Boston. I took it as a human being expressing myself and feeling he wanted to say something regarding the young guys on the team, and he felt it was portrayed different, and that's his leadership." He goes on to say a lot of things about respect, and he told like other coaches, yada, yada. So, Francis, social media is the media. Actually, social media is more powerful today, current state of being, than the media is.
Yeah.
If a player goes directly to social media, it's their direct words, right? And the media loves to spin things. Spin alley is still considered a thing. And we put things into, and sometimes we contextualize it fairly, other times we contextualize it for clicks. But in Rondo's case, I actually think that, Butler and Wade are all buddy-buddy. I gotta be honest, it smells like jealousy. It does, and Rondo's not, I get it. DeMarcus Cousins and Brian Scalabrine have both said the most misunderstood player in the league is Rajon Rondo. Then why is it everywhere he goes, the locker room is toxic? Why? Why is that the case?
Here's my point on Rondo, with no substance really to back it up, because there's been no research other than what we can see that he has some troubles at each of these teams. I think he's still living in his own mind his glory days. I think that he still wants everyone to be of the same standard as the Celtics team that he played in, where he was along with some of the best players we've seen in the last 10 years, in Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, Ray Allen. They had a fantastic system that worked for him, highlighted the great parts of his game, which was his passing and everything that went along with it, and they accomplished greatness. But things change. Teams change. Now you have to be that leader. And I haven't seen him be that leader at the Kings, and I haven't seen him be the leader at the Boston Celtics. He's still got ability to influence a game, but more than anything, he needs to understand that he now needs to take up the role as the vet, which other vets did with him, and he has to mature players and help them along with their game. This isn't helping anyone other than Rajon Rondo. That's the only reason, is because we're going to talk about it. He's hoping people give him a pass. Well, he's not being included as much. Well, his other vets did this to help him. No one's really... You're not the young player anymore. You are the veteran that you're calling out these people as your heroes. You have to take that into account. Now, Dwayne Wade responding says he knows he can't play that same level anymore. He can't practice every day. He can't put in the same effort that he did in the past. But it's not going to adjust the type of leader that he wants to be. He's just going to be a different leader. Because as you get older, you're going to have to do things a little bit differently. And some of the best players will try to do things the same way, and unfortunately, it doesn't work. It takes a little bit of adjustment. Kobe Bryant, in his last year, tried to do things. Who did he help? Let's just be honest. Who did he help in that team with the way he played?
The Kobe 11 shoe.
Right?
6 shoe.
Maybe 2. But I'm talking about, this isn't to rag on Kobe. That team had different aspirations. They were happy to be. They were happy to be the Kobe retirement tour. But other players like Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan understood his role in that team, and he helped other people when he got older. Consistently helped. And Rajon Rondo at this moment, for me, it just seems like he's crying out for people to give him a little bit of sympathy.
So did KG, and so did Paul Pierce, and so did Ray Allen, actually. Here's my take on this. Rajon Rondo was a major part of Boston winning a championship. He was the perfect point guard for that team because he never had to pull up and shoot, ever, really.
Yeah.
And his passing, as you mentioned, was highlighted. But it does really help as a point guard, a pass-first point guard, to have the most devastating off-the-block shooter in Kevin Garnett at the time, one of the most clutch and best mid-range shooters of Paul Pierce at the time, and the best long-range shooter in NBA history currently at the time. So at all parts of the floor, if they were in their spots, you just had to find them. And at all parts of the floor, if you knew where they were going to be in their spot, you can make the no-look pass, and Pierce, Garnett, and Allen would show up there because that's the type of players they were. No disrespect to Jimmy Butler and Dwayne Wade, but they're not KG at this point in their careers. They're not KG, Allen, and Pierce. So their vets showed up at the time, and they also had one last instrumental piece. Doc Rivers' ego management of that team was Phil Jackson-esque. You had a lot of big personalities. Pierce, KG, Ray Allen's relatively quiet, so he doesn't get the big personality tag, and Rondo, and Doc Rivers' legacy is that Celtics team. He's going to probably have a less of a legacy with the Clippers unless you can get him to the championship. But again, you don't really hear a lot of major locker room disruptions. And there's some egos on the Clippers too. But Doc Rivers usually has a handle on that. He's pretty damn good with the media. It's just that that's his strength. He's good at talking to the media. He's good at handling locker rooms, right? Maybe the X's and O's just haven't been there.
Yeah.
So Rondo doing this, I don't think you get a pass anymore, as you put it. You leave the Celtics, your ego management coach isn't there. You go to you went to the Kings first. Yeah, you go to the Kings for a little bit. And actually went to the Mavericks. And he wouldn't play with Rick Carlisle. And then he goes to the Kings. And he says that he couldn't name 3 players that he led the league in assists, and he couldn't name the 3 players that he was passing to. And then he goes to the Bulls. There's a trend here. And if there's a trend everywhere you go, there's locker room problems. Guess what, man? You're not the most misunderstood player in the league. You're a problem. You're a problem player in the league, and you need to find a coach who, unfortunately, is going to be able to speak to you and get the best out of you as a teammate and a player and a leader in the locker room.
It seems like the only place that he will be fitting is if he's in a place that's winning and that has superstars around him.
Cleveland.
Exactly.
LeBron, LeBron be your
if he was going because you think about it, how easy would it be for Dwayne Wade to be like, man, when I was playing with Shaq and we won we won the championship back then, this and this happened when I had to adjust for LeBron and we had Chris Bosh, but he's not living in that same era because he understands that he's not on a team that's pushing for that top spot. He's on the Bulls. They're rebuilding. This is a new team. This is a team that has a lot of potential. They have some young talent in there that can really help push them forward. And this is why at the start of the season we were like, wow, like with Jimmy Butler combining with Dwayne Wade, Rondo, and there's some outside shooters, they could really push forward and be an interesting team. They could start the way the Celtics have started to build forward. But with a mentality like that, you're not going to get anywhere.
Dwayne Wade doesn't practice every day anymore because he's 35 years old. I don't think he can.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can't hold him to that same
standard. But
standard.
The one thing that I always hold this up to players, practice doesn't just mean shooting the ball, running some drills, doing cone drills. Practice in today's day and age, like LeBron, sometimes his practices, from what I've read, is like 5 hours of stretching and then sitting in like a hyperbaric chamber.
Or what? Or
and then drinking a kale shake and rubbing it all over your arms.
Or like watching tape, or just like tape. There's so much things that go into it.
I'm more into the kale shake,
the kale shake kind
chamber
of
thing.
What about watching tape whilst you're in a kale body coating chamber?
Do you like kale?
I do like it. I don't like kale smoothies. I don't understand it. The color freaks me out.
Do you actually like the taste of kale, or you like the nutritional benefits?
I like the texture of it. It's an alternate from lettuce.
I don't mind the texture. I don't mind the nutritional benefits.
But can you tell me that lettuce tastes good?
It's the dressing you put on it.
But that's what I'm saying. Like none of these
it's like a water
veggies
chestnut. It has no taste.
It's the same thing with kale.
But kale has a taste, and it tastes like
grass.
Like
shit.
Fucking the cows I
Nothing.
want. Cow-fed cows, man. Grass-fed cows.
If you like kale, you can hit us in the comment. Jason will send you out a bag of LA grown kale.
No one knows where it's from.
Corey doesn't like
Nobody
kale.
knows.
He's
Because he
shaking
knows.
his
Because Corey's a real man.
Nah, I'm indifferent on kale. You guys are both just hipsters. You jumping on kale and you hating kale. Like who's that fucking passionate about?
I am.
Someone's right in the
leaf?
middle here.
It's like a
a
leaf,
little bit
bro.
above.
Like it's just like any other leaf.
I am
I don't
the
care.
hardcore
Romaine, kale,
liberal- no.
Caesar, throw it at me. I don't give a shit.
I'm
But do you not
hardcore
think that? Do you not agree that I'm
anti-kale.
saying it's like that? It's not like people sit here and go, "Oh, you guys just like kale." It's not even that good. Like referencing the point that cabbage and lettuce and spinach taste fucking great. It all tastes like
Whoa,
grass.
hold on. First of all, at what point in my argument was I want spinach instead of kale? I think most green things are gross.
We talking about leaves right now.
I like asparagus though.
You talking about leaves?
Asparagus is
leaves.
pretty dope.
We ain't talking about the full salad. We just
We're
talking
talking about leaves. How do
right
you feel
now.
about asparagus?
Nah, I fucking love asparagus.
See, you love asparagus.
The only thing asparagus that always surprises me is that your pee
Yeah.
starts to
Oh,
smell like
dude,
it
it
does.
smells terrible, man.
Hey, Jason, why don't you go full throttle and go out, find a tree and eat the leaves off of that, you hipster.
It would taste better than kale.
You hipster.
It tastes way better than
You
kale.
hipster.
Like what Littlefoot eats
Lock
in the Land Before Time.
Oh, that shit looks so
That
fucking
does
crunchy.
look good.
That shit looks good.
The 4 or 5 leaf thingy.
You lock it up.
Lock it. Comment below, like, favorite, subscribe. Don't eat kale. It's bullshit.